I'd like to call this meeting of the Show Low City Council to order. Show that all council members are present except for Councilman Alsop and Councilman Adams asked to be excused tonight. Tonight, I've asked Councilman Judd to lead us in the invocation, followed by Councilman Clark in the pledge. If you all like to stand and join us.
Our Heavenly Father, we're grateful for this opportunity we have to City Council. City. Live joy. Strength. City staff. Very all that for us to go through our meeting. The Spirit to say this name of the Son, Jesus.
Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Judd. Councilman Clark, appreciate that. Alrighty, next item on the agenda is call to the public. Any citizen desiring to speak on a matter that's within the jurisdiction of the city of Show Low, council may do so at this time. Seeing nobody run up, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda is the consent calendar, where we'll consider of resolution number R 2023-12, adopting the annual policy and prescribing procedures. Consideration of renewal agreement with the White Mountain Mills on Wheels. Consideration of renewal agreement with Show Low Historical Society. Consideration of renewal agreement with the Show Low Main Street. Consideration of a renewal agreement with Show Low Chamber of Commerce. Consideration of approval of annual purchase orders for fiscal year 2024. Consideration of adoption of resolution number R 2023-13, designating the chief fiscal office for the city of Show Low. Consideration of resolution number R 2023-15, approval and amended collection agreement with Arizona Game and Fish. Consideration of an agreement to reimburse costs associated with airport hangar infrastructure improvements. Consideration of acceptance of construction for police evidence building. Consideration of the minutes of the Show Low City Council regular meeting on June 6, 2023. Is there anybody that needs to pull anything? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept the consent calendar as read.
I would like item H removed, please.
Removed or discussed?
Discussed.
Okay. Can we get a motion? We could do a motion without that one, right? Okay. I'll need a motion to accept the consent calendar as read, except for item H.
So moved.
I got a motion. I need a second. Got a second. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Okay, Vice Mayor. Resolution number R 2023, approving and amending collection agreement with Arizona Game and Fish.
I would just like to be able to have city attorney explain this resolution to the community, because there's always a lot of confusion as it relates to the fees and collected and should be.
The collections agreement is an agreement with the city of Show Low and Arizona Game and Fish in regards to an ADA, Americans with Disability ramp at the Show Low Lake. And the original agreement in it is that Arizona Game and Fish will pay 75% and the city of Show Low will pay 25%. The original agreement that was brought before council had a set price based on the bid that we had received from LD&B. Game and Fish has asked to now to modify the agreement to be able to have contingencies in that in case there's contingencies. So they wanted the contract to be $250,000 as opposed to the original agreement was the $217,891.50, which was based on the bid from LD&B. So it was just to now increase it to $250,000 to take into consideration the contingencies. The percentages remains the same, with Game and Fish paying the 75% and the city of Show Low paying the 25%. Because this is an amended agreement, we brought it back to council to make that consideration.
Thank you. So we also have one with Fool's Hollow, right? Is that one coming up soon, or how far does that go? Or when's that come up? Don't we have an agreement with Fool's Hollow too?
That-
I know-
That's not associated with
Right, but we have one of those agreements coming up soon too.
ADA ramp. This is for the ADA ramp.
Oh, just for the ADA ramp. I'm sorry, apologize. Okay. Now I'll entertain a motion to accept item H as read.
I move to adopt resolution number R 2023-15, approving an amended collection agreement between the Arizona Game and Fish Department and the city of Show Low for the American Disabilities Act, accessibility upgrades to the Show Low Lake boat ramp, and authorizing the mayor to sign the amended agreement.
Thank you. I got a motion. I need a second. Got a second by Councilman Hatch. All those in favor? Motion passed. Thank you, Vice Mayor. Okay, moving on. Next item on the agenda under new business, is consideration of application submitted by Denise Wiseman Stowe on behalf of Show Low Main Street for special event liquor license for Battle of the Bands and food vans at Frontier Fields. Mrs. Clements.
Stowe, representing Solo Main Street, did an application. September 2nd. Solo Main Street start. License will allow Solo Main to sell beer and wine during the event. Participants will leave fields through existing 6-foot surrounds the area. Alcohol will be sold, blue area marked beer and wine on the map. Be allowed. Additional security personnel will be stationed at the beer. In addition, they will patrol and monitor the field, ensure no alcohol or leaves the premises, and that there is no unpaid. Security will be provided by the Show Low Police Department. Special event. The application and action taken by the council will be forwarded. Like regular liquor licenses, the decision is.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Or motions?
I move-
Councilman Hatch.
Go ahead.
I move to approve the application submitted by Denise Wiseman Stowe for a special event liquor license for the Battle of the Bands and fruit vans on September 2nd, 2023 at Frontier Fields.
Got a motion, got a second by Vice Mayor. All those in favor of the motion? All those opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Okay, next item on the agenda is a public hearing regarding final budget for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024, and proposed secondary property tax levy.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and Vice Mayor and council members. Tonight, before we open for public hearing, just doing a brief presentation to talk about our year 24 final budget. I'd like to just start by saying we haven't changed anything from the tentative budget. We had a few changes from the manager's recommended budget going back into May. We made those changes for tentative, so tonight we're here to discuss the final budget. As we normally like to do, just a refresher on the transparency of the budget process, how we give the residents opportunities to come and meet with staff and the council to share their opinions and ideas about the budget process and what may need to be added to the budget. Had a couple of study sessions, some town halls, and then our last meeting on June 6th, council adopted the tentative budget. And tonight we're here to adopt the final. We're putting the budget together from staff's perspective. We like to meet annually with the council at the retreat, review the goals and priorities of the council, and those goals are listed here. Preserve and maintain infrastructure, quality of life, community and economic development, and organization. This chart shows a history of our adopted budget versus what we've actually spent on the budget. So in fiscal year 23, the fiscal year that we're currently in, that will end on June 30th. We're estimating to spend about $55 million out of $98.8 million. You can look at the history going back to 2019 and even further. That's not included on the chart. We've always underspent the budget. This chart shows the breakdown of the revenues. The total for revenues for fiscal year 2024 is $151 million. A lot of that's coming through the operating revenues. We also have beginning fund balance. So between those two items, that makes up about 85%, a little more of the revenues for this year's budget. This is a breakdown of the operating revenues. We have the intergovernmental, just 34.1%. A lot of that's grant we get for different projects. The local taxes, state shared revenue in the form of taxes also 18.8 and 9.5% respectively. And then our utility fees is about almost 20%. For our expenses by type, we like to show the public that we're focusing on capital, making improvements in the community. That's infrastructure, buildings, things of that nature, and some equipment. And that's at 58.42% across all budget or all budget types, and then personnel at 15.2% and operations at 16.7%. This is a breakdown of the general fund expenses for general operations, 25.1% there. Then in our capital fund, 20%. The police department at 19.9% and facilities maintenance at 9%. The rest of them are fairly small, but added together, we come up with 100%. But that's how the breakdown of the general fund expenditures. This is a look at our personnel. 181.7 full-time equivalent employees, 64.3 in public safety. And utilities, we have 28, public works 33, planning and zoning 7, general government 22.8, community services 26. This is a breakdown of our capital and the contingencies. 72.4 million, general operations for capital 7.5 million, police department 2.2 million, streets and engineering 39.7 million, and a big chunk of that is in anticipation of getting the raise grant for the Scott Ranch Road, which is around 25 million. Parks and facilities maintenance 5.4, airport 2.8, wastewater 9.1, and water 4.5 million. And then we did leave the council contingency at 300 for next year. And this is a breakdown of expenditures by service area. Public works 43.8%, utilities 18.1%, and general government 25.1% make up the largest components of that expenditure breakdown. And then another component in addition to the final budget for the public hearing tonight is the street light improvement district. There's a property tax levy each year for the residents of Show Low, and this levy pays for the utility costs to operate street lights and park lights throughout the city. The rate, well, let me back up there. I skipped over one that we do budget a general fund subsidy of $15,000 to ensure that the budget does not have a deficit balance. If rate changes or things of that nature occur, we want to be able to balance the budget with the transfer in from general fund. The tax rate will remain unchanged, and that's 14.01 cents per $100 of assessed value. So no changes to that. And on a home valued at $150,000, the average resident's going to pay about $17 per year to go towards the streetlight improvement district. And that will be scheduled for adoption at the July 8th. Any questions on the streetlight improvement district? So final budget adoption tonight after the presentation of public hearing, and then on the July the 18th, the adoption of the secondary property tax levy. Once the council adopts that, we send the rate to the county and they do the calculations for us, and then they also put it on the property tax assessment, collect the money, and then send it. I'm available for any questions.
Questions or comments? Seeing none?
I'd like to say that commend staff for job. The recipients of another.
We anticipate to get the Triple Crown again, which is the act for the audited financials, the distinguished budget, and then the popular financial. Carrie's pretty much driving the bus on that one, so she does a great job, and that's a good accolade for the city. It builds confidence with our residents and constituents that we're taking good care of the dollar.
We'll do good because I seen her drive a bus before, so that'll be great. Appreciate that. Okay, at this time, I'll open it up to a public hearing. Anybody want to discuss anything on the budget? Seeing nobody move, I'll close the public hearing, turn it back over to the council. Huh? Yeah, go ahead.
I'll move to adopt resolution R 2023-14, adopting the final budget of fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024, an amount not to exceed $135,198,892.
Got a motion, I need a second. Second by Councilman Hatch. All those in favor of the motion? All those opposed? Motion passed. This next item is you as well, right? Next item on the agenda is consideration of resolution number R 2023-14, adopting the final budget for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024.
So we already adopted that one, so the next one would be to recess into the.
Sorry.
Yeah.
At this time, the city council will recess into its special meeting of the Show Low Bluff Community Facilities District for board to adopt the final budget of fiscal year 2023-24 for the district. Give me a second here because I got to find it. Okay, at this time, I will call to order the board members. Show all board members are present, but board member Adams and board member Allsep. Next item on the agenda is a public hearing, resolution number R 2023-02, adopting the final budget and setting the tax levy for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024. Mr. Johnson. Is that better? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you to the board members. I've prepared a short presentation tonight for final budget prior to the public hearing. The Show Low Bluff Community Facilities District is a special district that was formed by the property owners of the district in 2005, a separate unit of government from the city of Show Low. Any debt issued must be covered by the district's assessed value, and the benefit of that debt was primarily for infrastructure, and it must be for the district. There were two separate funds established, a special assessment bond and a general obligation bond. The general obligation bond was paid off in July of 2018, so the residents of Show Low Bluff no longer have a tax on their property tax bill for the Show Low Bluff CFP. There is, however, still the assessment, which was the 2007 assessment bond, which was issued at $2,014,000. So we currently have a balance of about half of that and it's due to be paid off 2031. The annual debt service is $151,980. There are a total of 227 parcels in the CFD, and the Shola Bluff developer owns 127 of those parcels, or 50%. Currently have an unbudgeted reserve of $221,150. The beginning fund balance is $266,973. Annual assessment billing of $111,912. There are two billings, one in June for principal and interest, and one in December for interest only. So we'll just need for the board to adopt the resolution adopting the final budget for the Shola Bluff CFD in $169,700.
Any questions or comments before we open it to a public hearing? Seeing none, at this time, I'll open up to a public hearing. Seeing nobody sprint up here again, I will close the public hearing, turn it back to the council for consideration of resolution number R 2023-02, adopting the final budget, setting the tax levy for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024. Need a motion? Motion by board member Kakavas.
First of all, I would like to thank staff for meeting with the independents of the community district program with them and helping them understand. So I move to adopt resolution number R 2023 to adopting the final budget in the amount of $169,780.
A motion, I'll second it. All those in favor of the motion? All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed unanimously. Next item on the agenda is consideration of the minutes of the Shola Bluff Community Facility District Board meeting of June 6, 2023. Need a motion? I'll make a motion to accept the minutes. I need a second. Got a second by Councilman Hatch. All those, or Board Member Hatch, sorry. All those in favor? All those opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Thank you, sir. This time we'll adjourn back into our regular, or we'll recess back into our regular meeting. Then I'll give me a minute here and I'll find it too. Maybe. Okay, next item on the agenda is summary of current events. Nothing down there?
I had something that popped into my mind while we were sitting here talking about tonight, that we're looking towards introducing grizzly bears back into this area. I don't know exactly where it's going to be, but bears, especially grizzly bears, are a little more aggressive than brown or black bears. I'm sorry, but that's something that we need to be looking at, talking to the Game and Fish about what the plans are, where they will introduce them, and what we can be expecting.
Sure. Vice Mayor?
Just want to welcome. Prayers have been answered, and we're
I just want to thank everybody for the thoughts and prayers. It was a long trip down the valley. Actually, it was pretty quick. I mean, I went in the hospital Monday morning and I was gone Monday within an hour. So I can tell you Summit, I think, saved my life. So anyway, City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Welcome back. Glad to have you back. We also have with us tonight two staff members that have been gone for extended absences. I'd like to welcome back Commander Westover. He just completed the National FBI Academy.
Congratulations.
Several months, so it's good to have him back. We have with us Kathy Clements tonight. Well, that's good. We're back. Rachel's down in the valley going to a conference to get her Municipal clerk. Currently, just to let you know, there's no fire restrictions in place, but the situation, as you know, is starting to pick up with the heat and the winds that come, so anticipating that there'll be some fire restrictions. Everybody to be careful out there and watch. There's a lot of grass and fine fuels. We did have a little fire start over by the pool. It's a small little, it's gotta be. The next few weeks, we got several events. So on Friday, we got our ribbon cutting ceremony at the Frontier Field Splash Pad at 11 a.m. Encourage everyone to come out, enjoy a popsicle and the ribbon cutting and splash pad. As you know, it's all been used quite a bit by the residents, usually full over there. Great addition to the city. The Recreation Department is accepting registration for the mini mud run, kids ages 2 to 10. This event takes place on July 15th at the City Park Senior Field. The cost to register is $15 per participant, $23 per participant with a special event shirt. Day of the registration, the field increased to 20 spaces, usually limited to this event. So call 532-4014. We have our Shoalo Main Street weekly farmers market that continues 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Saturday. Festival market through September. This is our last meeting before the 4th of July. Just remind everybody we have our 4th of July festivities on Tuesday, July 4th. We'll begin with the parade at 9 a.m. along the Deuce of Clubs. We'll have a wet zone that'll take place immediately following the parade at Frontier Fields under North 9th Place. It's fun for the young children there. Then at 3 o'clock, the gates open at the Shoalo High School football stadium, 500 West Dolan Road for the Freedom Fest that has music, food, vendors, and kids activities. And then our fireworks display begins at 9 that night. Need to know anything about traffic and the list of events, it's on our website. We're still accepting applications for the 4th of July parade. You can call again the city's or find it on the website or by calling 532-4130. Our public works projects, we got several things. Some of them are going on at night. The ADOT is still working on the Shoalo Lake Road intersection. That'll be going on at night. You'll see that. And then we have utilities being relocated over here at East Hall and 11th Street for the bridge replacement. I think the utilities got relocated, so the bridge foundation's scheduled to go in on Monday and the bridge piece is scheduled to arrive on Wednesday. Slurry Sill is going to be happening on June 26th. You can go to the city website to see what areas are going to be slurry sealed. West McNeil roadway improvements should be complete by June 30th. And asphalt removal will begin next week on East McNeil, over here by Nicholas School. Got a lot of stuff going on. We appreciate everybody's patience through these projects. That's it.
Thank you, City Manager. Like I probably said a dozen times, it's going to be crowded up here the next couple of weeks, so be safe. Quit turning left. Everybody turn right, and we should be able to get around town. I can tell you most of the accidents, our officer back there could probably testify, most of our accidents when everybody turns left. So be patient. Coming from me, my wife's back there laughing, but coming from me, be patient. It is definitely going to be crowded up here the next few weeks. So thank you guys again for attending tonight. We appreciate it. Oh, wait, do we have any scheduled meetings?
So just to remind everyone, we're not going to meet on July 4th. That would be our next meeting. So there's no meeting on July 4th. Our next meeting will be on Tuesday, July 8th.
Okay, appreciate that. Be safe. Have a good 4th of July, and we'll see you guys next meeting. I'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you.